all those accounts will be there. So firstly, remember for financial statements, they can either ask you both, meaning we have income statement, also known as statement of profit and loss, a statement of financial position. We also have a statement of changes in equity. So those are the three financial statements which you need to expect. And you must know how are they related, okay? The first thing that we need to check, the financial year. I know for this question, I just said draft financial statements. Usually your pre-adjustment trial balance will always have what? That financial statement. So we're going to deal with the year that ended on the 31st of December. Okay. It's our financial year. It's very important. Remember, when you are writing your exams, they will always tell you from the requirements there. Can you see now? So they will tell you, for example, here, they will give you a date. Let's say, for example, for the year ended 31st December. Let me see now. 2024. For example, this 2021. Okay. So they will always give you the year that you need to deal with. Okay. Are you still with me?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So immediately when you do that, before you can commence with any information, you just have to come up with something like this. This is your accounting plot. So because they will always give you this 31st of December, just put it here and say 31st December 2011. Sorry, here I was supposed to say 2011. I'm just say 2011 here. And then you must know that this is the end period. So you must decide, when did you start? When did I start this period?
So is it January
2010? Sir.
2010.
January. Remember, you can only say 2010 if there is any other month other than December. If it is December, it must be the same year.
Yes, 2011.
Yeah. So December will be the same year, but all the other months you'll say previous year, but the same procedure. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, so because if it was the previous year, it would be 2 years.
Yes.
Not one.
Yes, it's going to be 2 years. But as long as it's December, yes, it will be January, but the same year, only for December. We good?
Yes, sir.
No problem. After that, obviously, we need to know the format. You know that I'm just going to put it here. This will be our, obviously, the name will be here. So you're going to put the name, for example, in this case, this will be our name of the business. Okay, just going to put it here. And then so this is going to be statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive. So you must not forget this, ne? Especially for marks, okay?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes. Let's say for the year ended. This is 31st December 2011. So this is just for marks, but because we've been dealing with, because we're practicing here, so sometimes we don't even show that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So now,
sorry, just write that down quickly. Just the heading.
Yes, for the heading here.
So we have to say and other comprehensive for the year.
Yeah, for the year. Yeah, just for the year. Sometimes they give you 1 mark for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Always do that. But when we do this, especially when we practice, we don't normally stress that the importance of having that. Okay, so but I'm just saying this is how you need to do it for marks. Okay,
yes,
just for
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So as I said, the statement of profit and loss, you can either use 2 columns or 1 column. If you can check, sometimes in your book they use 2 columns, sometimes they use 1 column. But for now, let me use 1 column just to, because it doesn't change the information. I'm going to use the 1 column one, okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
Yes, the 1 column one, obviously here, usually they want you to have 1 column, and then obviously here you're going to put, they normally say, you can just write something like, just to show that you're going to deal with the ranks, it's okay. Yeah, even if you don't write it, it's okay, but this is just showing that I'm going to deal with the rents, and then I just have to know the first thing to put. If I may ask you, from your past experience, what is the first thing that you put under this statement?
Revenue.
Sales revenue or revenue.
Revenue or sales revenue, okay?
Yes.
So that is the first thing that we need to put. And then if I may ask you, what did I say you must look for before you can put the amount that you've been given?
Sales return,
Sales,
settlement discount
yeah,
granted, and then allowance
yes,
for settlement discount granted adjustments.
that's true. I like that.
Okay.
My brother, are you also okay that side?
Yes, sir.
No problem. So if you can check on this question, we do have what? Sales here, which is this amount of 381. Are you with me?
Yes. Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes.
is it true that if you don't know like the nominal account section, that you can just say that debit is an expense and credit is income?
Yeah, debit
Okay.
is an expense and credit is an income. That will help you a lot.
Okay.
Yes. But under that section for nominal, okay?
Okay.
Yes. Just that this trial balance is not divided, because sometimes they give it to you without dividing it into sections. But as you can see, everything from capital up to the allowances for credit losses. This is the balance sheet section up to here,
Yes.
up to the allowances. But everything from sales downwards, those will be the nominal, okay? And then it means you will know that if you're not sure whether it's an income or not, you're gonna just use whether it's a debit or a credit. Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
No problem. So my first amount that I found is my sales. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So remember, I advised you when you're writing exam, whatever you have used, please just highlight it. Just highlight it to show that you have used it, okay? So that you cannot use it again. Okay, let's follow our formula. What next do you see based on our revenue formula?
Sales return.
Sales returns.
Sales returns here, it's 1.2. I'm gonna go there and say minus. Okay, just like that, 1.2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No problem. Let's highlight.
And then settlement discount granted.
We have got settlement discount granted here. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do this. Copy. No. And again, remember, we are going to minus it. And then let's highlight just to make sure this is the settlement. And then what else do we have?
Nothing else.
Nothing. We can also check from the information here. Even from the information, we must just check for in case. Can you see now? There's no adjustment that we spoke about. Okay.
Yes.
Meaning, so far so good. And then we just have to close brackets and check how much is our sales revenue.
So I've got 360,210.
Come again?
360,210.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So I got 380,210.
80,000. Brother, double check there.
So is it 361 or 381?
This is 381. So let me make it a bit. Let me zoom a bit.
Okay.
Is it better?
Yes, it's better.
Okay.
Yes, 380,210.
Perfect. Are you okay so far?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
No problem. The next thing, obviously, that we need to put here is going to be we have to less something called
Cost of sales.
now?
Yeah.
Cost of sales. Okay. And again, for the cost of sales, I remember we spoke about that particular formula. Obviously, what must we look for first? Obviously, we look for the cost of sales.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I don't know if you still have the notes. What did we say? You must also check. Doesn't matter if you forgot, but
For cost of sales, huh?
Raw material.
Yes. It's something that you need to deduct. So obviously, if you've got settlement discount receipt.
Oh, settlement discount granted.
Received, not granted, remember, went here. Granted goes to
So
sales.
received.
The received one. So if you have it, you must minus it.
Okay.
Yes. Let's
So
double
it's cost
check
of
if we have
sales
it.
minus settlement
Yes.
discount received.
Yes.
Okay.
Cost of sales. Have it like this now. And then we check if we've got those settlement discount receipt. We don't have it here, unless if I can't see properly. And I don't see it here. Okay,
So we do have settlement discount received.
Where is it?
It's the second
here.
one.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Perfect. And we minus it here in brackets.
So I got 164,750.
750.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the same ones.
Thank you. Don't forget the brackets, né?
So brackets meaning so we'd minus it from the 380.
Yes, we're gonna minus
Okay.
from the 380. How much?
215,460.
120. That's what we call gross profit. Sometimes they call it gross income because we got a positive when we found the difference between the sales. Sales are more than cost of sales, so we made a gross profit. But in future, if it's negative, you must accept it. It will be called gross loss.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the first part that you need to understand. But remember this, what we're doing here, we are using what we call, I think you remember this.
Yes, the perpetual
Yes,
and
why am I saying we're using this is because the minute they give you cost of sales, can you see from the given information they gave you cost of sales?
Yes, sir.
If you are given cost of sales, just know that you are using perpetual. Because next time they can use periodic. When it comes to periodic, you don't have to, they don't give you cost of sales. You find it yourself. Are you with me?
Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about what if, because it's important to talk about what if, okay? So if they did not give you cost of sales. They will give you items to calculate cost of sales. Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do you know them, or can I remind you?
Actually, I think it was raw materials, wages and salaries, manufacturing.
No, not those ones. Write them down now, write them down. If it was under periodic, this is how you will calculate cost of sales. I don't know if you've spoken about it before. So firstly, they must give you opening inventory.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it like this. Let me, because I want you to see it properly here. So
Okay.
firstly, let me write it here. So for you to calculate cost of sales, you will need to take your opening inventory. And then you will have to add purchases.
Oh, so then is that when you minus the closing inventory after that?
Yes.
Oh,
And
yes. I wrote
then,
that down.
yes. And thereafter,
Okay.
if you've got any other additional, because you can find something like carriage on purchases, like any cost related to purchases. Not only carriage on purchases, there are too many. Sometimes they give you custom duties, you add them.
Okay.
Just gonna. So you must. Sometimes they will give you. You add custom duties. Just so anything related to purchases, you must add. Like if they charge you transport on purchases, you add that transport. Can you see that?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And then sometimes you've got something called import duties. Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
No problem. And then I'm just seeing for examples, but as long as you know that that is related to the purchases. And the last thing, like you said, we are going to less. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
No problem. But this has got its own formula. Okay? For you to find these purchases, you will always take your purchases, you less purchases returns, you less any settlement discount received. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is when they are using the periodic system. So they will never give you the cost of sales if they're using periodic inventory system.
So to find cost of sales, we use this formula. So
Yes, and you must write it down. This formula you must write it as it is. So for example, when it comes here, under cost of sales is where you're going to write that those things that I wrote down here.
okay.
Can you see this? The whole thing here from opening. You will
Yeah.
come and write it at the bottom here, somewhere here, and thereafter the total. After you solve it, you're gonna put the amount as it is here. But you must list them. List. I don't know if it makes sense.
It does, yes, sir. In the same format that you did it.
Yeah, the same format. That is just
Okay.
that you have to show the calculation underneath.
Okay, I see.
Yes. But now this one is periodic, it's perpetual. That's why they did not, you don't have to worry about the whole calculation, the formula. We are just given the cost of sales, but remember we still have to minus the settlement discount received. Even here, the settlement discount received is deducted from the purchases. Can you see now? Instead of directly from the cost